Sean, let me ask you something that's very, very important. For the success you were able to achieve, you had a patriarch you're very, very close to. You really know the patriarch. You
Yeah,
respect him. You respect that patriarchate,
yeah,
and you had an obligation towards that. You had the evening was under the auspices of the primate of the Diocese of the Armenian Church. If I may add also, the evening was sponsored by the Armenian General Benevolent Union, the AGBU, and
yes,
you had all the many organizations of the Bolsetis,
yes,
Armenians who hail in our area from Turkey. So you had a very powerful base. How
right.
does that feel, especially the AGBU? And I really respect that organization because whenever there was a real need, they jump in and they make dreams come into reality. What do you feel about these
Well,
groups?
yes, uh, AGB is one thing. It was terrific that, they came up, they sponsored the whole.
Absolutely.
That is remarkable. But as far as the Bolsahai mutunes are concerned, you know, we from Istanbul, I'm not talking about me, generally, we feel the Bolsetis feel isolated.
Isolated.
For example, people from Beirut consider themselves much more Armenian than the Istanbuls. Yesterday, the reason I told you the Uber was waiting, I had to go.
Yes, you had to leave.
And we started a conversation in the Uber, and one of the performers said, I will never go to Istanbul because it's Turkish. And the whole talk about genocide came, and, I have a certain point of view, and other people have a different point of view. I feel that we should look forward,
Mhm.
we should look to the future. Others feel that that genocide thing is there and we have to resolve them, whatever it is. We all have our different feelings.
Absolutely.
Therefore, because of this, a lot of Armenians from other countries, other cities outside of Turkey, they feel that Istanbul Armenians are not really Armenians. They're kind of, you know, Turkophile Armenians. There can't be anything more uh, wrong than that. Uh, I mean, what is happening right now in Armenia, in Echmiadzin, is that Armenian? Is that supposed to be Armenian? I mean, Armenia and the Armenian church, that is Armenia. I mean, that's the way, it's like the Jews. The Jewish religion is Israel, whatever it is, Zionism. We have that kind of a thing. The Istanbul Armenians, we are as much Armenian as anyone else.
Sean,
Uh,
I definitely agree with what you said. The fact that you are a Boseti Armenian, you
yeah.
have all the respect that we can possibly give to you. Let me just go back into the positive territory and ask you to comment about the patriarch Sahag II. You know him better than many of us. Give us a few words about the man.
Well, yes, I met him several times. He was at another concert 2 months ago, which I gave in Istanbul.
Mhm.
And, this was, and I have visited him several times at the Patriarchate. He has learned the Armenian language when he was 20 years old.
Mhm.
If you listen very carefully, there's a very slight accent in his Armenian.
Interesting.
And it's incredible that, he speaks so well. And what amazed me yesterday, his sense of humor.
Absolute.
And he wasn't afraid to speak about the genocide. He wasn't afraid to speak about the Gatorigos. He spoke very intelligently, I felt, much
Mm-hmm.
more intelligently than I had ever
Mm-hmm.
heard him speak. I am looking forward to hear his homily, Karos, inchkes homily,
Yes.
yeah, Karos, sermon, whatever. And let me see what he's going to say. I'm very anxious to hear this. And I am convinced that the Istanbul Armenians have the right patriarch because he is not only concerned with the Istanbul Armenians, that he is. This is rather controversial in Istanbul also. Uh, but yesterday I was convinced that he is the right man for the position right now. And he is going all over Turkey, opening churches and this and that. And in his own way, he is disseminating Armenians. And he is, I understand, also encouraging Armenians who have become Muslims to go back to Christianity. So, I mean, he's been elected, what, for 2 years now? Hazif.
Mm-hmm.
And he's good. That's my opinion about Sahak II.